All right, last but not least, we got our, again, whatever. You roast me in the comments for the name of this Pokemon. Hi everyone, Callie here again, and today I've got more box openings for you. There are actually 3 new boxes that have come out recently. So what we've got here is these 3 new boxes. We've got the Zeraora VSTAR and Vmax box. There's also the Deoxys VSTAR and Vmax box, and then you've got this Pokemon whose name I'm going to mispronounce, Zirizion something V. So again, we're going to take a look at all 3 of these boxes, talk about what's inside, talk about how playable some of these cards are, and then also look at what's the current value of what you're buying here. You know, are you wasting your money on buying these boxes if you're looking to just kind of collect some cards and open some packs? So again, let's kind of dive into each one and talk about them individually. So first up, we're going to take a look at this Zeraora VSTAR and VMAX box. Obviously, your Zeraora V right there, your Zeraora VSTAR, as well as a Zeraora VMAX. This also comes with 4 packs, as well as a jumbo card of the Zeraora VSTAR. Well, I guess one last thing, you do get the VSTAR marker as well, though you've probably gotten a million of these if you've opened a few different boxes. So before we kind of get into this box, I do want to mention these 3 cards up front here are all promo cards that you can't get anywhere else. So if you are looking to add these cards to your collection, you will either need to buy them individually or buy one of these boxes to be able to get this. That's not actually 100% true. You can actually get this Zeraora V and this new V Battle deck that's actually come out recently as well. But for sure, these other 2 cards, the VMAX and the VSTAR, are only available currently in this box. May or may not be available other places in the future, but at least right now, again, if you do want them, you will either have to buy them separately or buy one of these boxes. This box retails for around $29.99, so, you know, $30 or so before tax and everything. So looking at the value of what's inside, the Zeraora V card itself is about $3. Then the Zeraora V-Star is going for around $9.60 right now. If you take a look at the Zeraora VMAX, that is a $5.70 card or so. Then this jumbo card itself, because there are people that like to collect those specifically, that's going for around $9 on its own. And then you got your 4 packs inside, around maybe $18 a packs or so. So all in all, you're looking at a value of around $45 all told. So you pay maybe $30 for this box, and you're getting around $45 in value just from the stuff inside. Obviously, that might change if some of these things go down in value, but at least for the moment, at the time of this recording, you know, pretty good value as far as what you're getting here. All right, so let's look at the contents of this box real quick before we talk about the cards themselves. So here's just a code card to start you off if you want that. And then here's a closer look at that jumbo card. But looking at the cards themselves, so first off, we've got this Zeraora V. Again, this is a Black Star promo that you can't get anywhere else besides this specifically one copy in the V Battle box. So nothing too special about this guy in particular. You know, he does just have this ability here, the Claw Slash that can do 50 damage for 2 energy, and then the Thunderous Bolt. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So nothing super special there or really interesting. Obviously, like most Vs, this is just there to kind of evolve into other things. Something that is kind of worth noting, though, you know, again, individually, this card's around $3 or so. So if you did want a play set of these that you were buying individually, it is going to cost you around $12 to $14, depending on how much you're paying for them. Not a cheap way to kind of be able to get cards. It is kind of one downside of cards like this coming in boxes. In addition to that, though, you do get this Zeraora VMAX. He's a card with 320 HP. He's got the Reactive Pulse for 2 lightning energy. This attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that has an ability. So that is actually a pretty interesting ability. Definitely could be doing a lot of damage if you're playing against, you know, various kind of decks. I could see this actually being pretty good against Palkia decks, particularly Palkia Inteleon, you know, or Palkia Kyurem. Pretty much everything you're playing in that deck has an ability, and this also has weakness against Palkia. So it doesn't take very many abilities to be able to knock out somebody's Pokemon. And then you also have that Max Fist for 2 lightning and a colorless energy for 240 damage. Then you discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. So again, a pretty interesting card there. I'm not gonna say this is probably gonna set like the meta on fire or anything, but certainly potentially a playable card, or at least a deck you could build around this guy. Again, something that you can kind of make a note of there, because these are going for around $550 or so right now. If you did want to play set, it's going to cost you about $23, $25 or so. Again, not inexpensive if you're going to get like a play set of these and just buy those individually. Otherwise, you'll have to buy, 4 of these boxes, which is going to get pretty expensive. And last but not least, you've got this Zeraora VSTAR. He is a 270 HP Pokemon, so not terrible, not great for a VSTAR. Got the Crushing Beat ability, 2 lightning and a colorless. You can do 190 damage, and you may discard a Stadium play. Not a super exciting attack, not a ton of damage. Again, does help Palkia for weakness, but otherwise, kind of eh. But you do have this really cool V-Star power, Lightning Storm Star. Does cost a lot of energy, but you can choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 4 times. You can choose the same Pokemon more than once, and then for each time you choose a Pokemon, you do 60 damage to it. Not affected by weakness or resistance, so you're not hitting for weakness with this ability, but a pretty cool ability. You can knock out a lot of stuff on people's benches with this card, and potentially take a bunch of prizes with it. Again, probably not going to set like the meta on fire, but another pretty interesting card. Certainly, probably something you can play around with and build a deck around. So if you did want to get a play set of this, it's going to cost you probably around $38 to $40 right now. Again, not super cheap. If you wanted to get 4 copies of each of these guys, so the V-Star, the V-Max, and your V card, just buying them individually, going to cost you around $73 to $75. So pretty expensive if you wanted to get a full playset of these guys here. Again, and that's just buying them individually. So like I said, not cards that you definitely need or anything if you are looking to play the game, but it could be a fun deck to kind of build and play around with. I'd really say though, probably more of it for collectors as far as getting these kind of Black Star promos and maybe just having these cool copies of these Zeraoras. So if you're looking to play them, might kind of hold off, see if the prices go down before picking up some of these. Besides that in the box, again, we get our 4 packs, and we'll open these at the end with the rest of our packs from the other boxes. Next up, we got our Deoxys V-Star and V-Max box. So this one's similar to the Zeraora. Similar contents, you got your V, you got your V-Star, you got your V-Max, you got your jumbo card of the V-Star, and you got 4 packs, as well as that V-Star marker as well. Retails for, again, around $30, $29.99 at most places, so same kind of price there. As far as value, you're looking around $4 for this Deoxys V, about $10 or so for the V-Star, about $3.50 for the V-Max. The jumbo card is actually around $9 just in and of itself, and again, the packs, around $18 of value for those. So again, a pretty good box as far as just pure value of contents here. You're getting about $44 or so in value for what you're paying. As long as you're getting this for around $30, not a bad deal there as far as the stuff you're getting. Who knows what kind of cool stuff you can get from those packs. All right, so again, looking at the contents of this box, first up we got our code card there. And there's a look at our jumbo card. And then diving into the cards ourselves, we do have this pretty beautiful Deoxys V there. Nothing super interesting about this card. Like most Vs, it's just kind of a stepping stone to the V-Stars. So 220 HP, got that Psychic attack that does 30 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Can potentially do a lot of damage depending on the kind of deck you're playing against. And then the little power edge there. So again, nothing too exciting from this guy. Do want to mention, if you did want a play set of these ones, it's going to cost you around $16 or so if you're buying them individually. So keep that in mind if you are looking to get potentially a play set if you wanted to play around with this. But let's take a look at the more interesting cards that come in here, which really are those V-Star and the V-Max. So next up, we've got our V-Star here. It's got 270 HP, Again, not terrible, but not great for a V-Star. And then you've got your Psychic Javelin for 2 Psychic and a Colorless. You can do 190 damage. And this attack also does 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon V. You know, not a bad attack. It is a little bit on the weak side, the thing that you're hitting on the active. But the fact that you can soften something up on the bench can really set you up for some potential kills later on down the line. There are less Manaphy's running around these days, so this might be, you know, a little playable. I'm, again, not going to say that this card's going to set the world on fire or anything, but it does seem like a playable and potentially really fun card to play around with. If you want to play a set of these guys, probably going to cost you around $38 to $40 or so if you wanted to buy 4 of these individually, so pretty expensive. But let's also take a look at that V-Star power. You've got Star Force for 1 Psychic. You can do 60 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So, you know, if you've got 3 on here to be able to attack, you're doing pretty decent damage from that. Hopefully your opponent has some energy attached as well, and you might be able to knock out, you know, a pretty big Pokemon. Not the most amazing V-Star power or V-Star card, but certainly something kind of interesting, and definitely a cool looking card. Alright, then last we have a card that I actually think seems really interesting, something I want to maybe play around with a little bit. The Deoxys V-Max. I don't think the art is the best, but it's got 330 HP, really nice, something we definitely like to see on our V-Maxes. And then it's got this really cool protective DNA ability. So all of your Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon V-Star. So there's obviously a lot of V-Star Pokemon that are main attackers right now. You've got Zoroark, you've got Palkia, you've got Arceus, you've got Goodra. Lots of different things that you'll be seeing that are V-Stars. So the fact that you can take 30 less damage from those from all of your Pokemon just by having this on your bench, pretty nice. Pair this with a Galarian Gardevoir. The Radiant one. Radiant Gardevoir. That's what I'm trying to look for from the most recent Lost Origin set. And you're potentially taking 50 less damage from those V-Star Pokemon. Not too shabby, again, just for having this guy on your bench. His attack is not great. You know, max drain, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Pretty You know, that protective DNA is really probably why you're playing this guy. And maybe not something that we're going to definitely see in decks for sure, but again, might be kind of a fun thing to play around with. Maybe put it in a Goodra deck, make yourself even tankier. Could be fun. If you do want to play a set of these guys, probably going to cost you around $14, so a little bit cheaper than some of the other cards. You know, because you're probably not going to run 4 copies of this thing in your deck, so you probably don't need 4 of them if you did want to run this in something. Maybe just like 2 or so would be good. If you do want a full playset of all 3, though, of your V-Star, your V-Max, and your V, it is going to cost you around $69 to $71 or so, again, depending on what price you can find them at. So not inexpensive to be able to get everything. And then you've got your 4 packs as well, and again, we'll open up all of our packs at the end of this video. One thing I do want to say before we get to this last box, you know, again, I kind of feel like they probably put the Pokemon in here that they're not thinking are going to be like the most amazing ones, because it is kind of, it's not the best that you potentially have to buy like 4 of these boxes if you want a full playset of these. So it's probably a good thing that these are not the most like playable or meta relevant Pokemon. At least they probably won't be. But you know, you can kind of take that for what it is as far as how much that kind of irks you a little bit, because it can be annoying if it is something you want to play with and you can't really get it without either buying them individually or buying a bunch of copies of this one bundle. All right, last but not least, we got our, again, whatever, you roast me in the comments for the name of this Pokemon. You got the V for it here. Probably maybe the least interesting out of everything that's here, but let's take a look at the value here and see what we're getting. This box itself retails for around $15, so definitely cheaper than those other boxes. So we've got our main guy here, the Zirizion V, for about $1.30 there, so nothing super special. You do get a Keldeo here. This is not a promo, by the way. Other things of value in here, you got your Jumbo card. That's going for actually about $5 right now. And then last but not least, you get 4 packs in here. So those 4 packs alone are around $18 or so. So just in packs, it's already kind of paying for itself, which is good because these two guys are not really worth very much of anything. And you know, mileage may vary on whether or not you care about the Jumbo card, but the packs alone do kind of make the value if you're getting it for $15 worth it, because you're getting 4, that's probably going to cost you about $18 or so for the most part. You're buying them by themselves, so a decent value for what you're getting. It would cost you about $25 to buy all of these things individually if you did want them. I do want to mention this guy over here. It is a promo that you can't get from anywhere else, so if you want this for your collection, you're gonna have to buy this individually or get this box for it. But this Keldeo, not a promo, just a regular thing, I think, from Astral Radiance. Probably got a million of those if you've been opening Astral Radiance. First up, we got our code card. Then let's take a look at this Jumbo card. You know, I like these Jumbo cards. Again, not everybody cares about them, but I do think this is a pretty good looking one. I actually like the art on this card a lot. Taking a look at the main event here. So this is another V card with 200 HP. It's got this Verdant Wind ability. Each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached, or grass energy specifically attached to it, recovers from all special conditions and can't be affected by any special conditions. Then it's got an Emerald Blade attack for 200 damage, and then this Pokemon can't attack on the next turn. This is honestly pretty okay overall. You know, this ability, again, it's okay. If you're using a grass deck, I could see you maybe putting one of these in just to kind of protect some from status conditions. But the reality is, there really aren't that many things running around that do special conditions that you need to be that worried about. So, yeah, not the best card in the world. Thankfully, it is pretty cheap if you did want to get a play set of these. They're only $1.30 each, so maybe cost you like $5 or so if you want to get 4 of these to play around with. Here's our Keldeo. Not gonna really talk about it. Nothing super interesting there. We'll just put that aside. And then we got our 4 packs. So that's gonna do it for all the openings. Let's just take a look at all these packs and see what we got inside. I will say we get some decent variety from these 3 boxes. So we obviously get mostly Lost Origin. Looks like there's about 6 of those. We've got 3 Astral Radiance, 2 Brilliant Stars, and a Fusion Strikes. Let's start with this one. I've been getting pretty lucky with Fusion Strikes, so hopefully I can continue this with this 1 pack. Maybe get a cool alternate art Mew. That'd be pretty cool. Code card. Come on, Fusion Strikes. Let's give us something. Ooh, we did get a reverse of Fusion Strike Energy. Okay, that's kind of funny. In one of my most recent videos, I opened a Fusion Strikes, and I got this same full art. So, you know, got a full art. I'll count it. I'll give that to Fusion Strikes. I'm going to say my Fusion Strike Lux continues. Right, let's do Brilliant Stars. I'm going to actually go through these a little bit faster. The video's probably getting a little bit long at this point. So I'll kind of speed it along, show us some of the cool stuff. So there's our code. Let's see if we've got anything cool from here. It looks like we do not. Got our penguin there that do not like. All right, come on, Brilliant Stars. I would say Brilliant Stars is probably one of the sets that I really haven't opened very much of. I started collecting again with Pokemon Go. So Brilliant Stars was obviously a little bit before that. First like full set that I was looking at was Astral Radiance. So really again haven't done very much of these. So we just got a Berry and the Dusknoir. Nothing super exciting in our Brilliant Stars. So hopefully Astral Radiance can give us some better luck. Actually still a lot that I need from Astral Radiance. I'm hoping to one day complete this set. Don't know if it will ever happen, but it would be really cool too. See what we got in here. Nothing. Not getting super lucky with our packs. We still have a few left. can find some good stuff. And Lost Origin has always been pretty good for me. So if anything, I'll hopefully find some stuff once I get over there. Alright. Oh, more nothing. Our last Astral Radiance. Ooh, Hashalucha and Sneasler V. Not a bad last pack. We did get a hit at least. Our first kind of hit besides our full art. Let's look at the Lost Origin. Something I want to talk about a little bit. So, you know, I've been putting out these videos for PTCGO where I've been doing some deck showcases, and specifically this series on me trying to really get better at the game. You know, I'm still pretty recent to having learned the game, and I do want to really try to get better. So, in that series, I've been playing a lot of Palkia Kyurem. Definitely a deck that I've really been enjoying. Palkia Inteleon is, I think, like the first really serious deck that I ever actually built once I learned the basics of the game. And I've really been honestly kind of helping me a lot, kind of go through and look at some of the mistakes that I've been making and trying to improve from that. So if you are kind of interested in, you know, maybe learning some basics from somebody that's also kind of still learning the basics as well, I think it's been a pretty interesting series so far. It's certainly been helping me. If you have been watching it, you might know that for one of the game stores that I go to, it's definitely a lot more competitive than at least some of the places that I was used to, where the first store I went to, pretty casual people. But this store actually has people that like go to regionals. They've had people that qualified for worlds and stuff, so pretty competitive. And I finally won not only my first couple of games there, which before I was struggling to do, but I actually won everything. I went undefeated last Friday when we were there, so I was super excited about that. I've been very happy to have kind of met my goal at King Drahala. I had the goal of trying to finally get some wins, so to go not just get a couple of wins, but really go undefeated and win the whole night, get 12 championship points. I was pretty proud of myself. I was pretty happy about it. So again, I definitely think that kind of recording some of my games and looking at what some of my mistakes are and really analyzing them, definitely really helping me kind of improve my game overall. All right, well, last pack. Seems like these 3 boxes have kind of been a bit of a dud for us. So hopefully this last pack can do something for us. Let's see, don't let me down. All right, you know what, let's go through this one a little bit slower. The last pack. The Psychic Energy, Abomasnow, Damage Pump. It's a Viper. There's our Zeraora, or Zeraora rather, Snover, Machop, Pikachu, Jinx. Okay, we did get Trainer Gallery, Cast Form, and Magcargo. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this video. So I'd say maybe final verdict for these boxes is, again, as far as just pure value, why not? If you're wanting to just collect some cards, there's some cool promos in this box that are pretty valuable in and of themselves, so those are pretty nice by themselves. You're getting a fair number of packs as well that are valuable. You know, even if you take out the value of the jumbo cards, you're still kind of paying for the boxes just by the contents that are inside. So, you know, even if you wind up not getting any pulls like I did, they're really not too bad overall. Again, probably recommend them a little bit more for collectors. Not going to say that any of these cards are probably going to be super playable, though they might be some fun decks. But from a collector standpoint, or, you know, that kind of thing, pretty good boxes to pick up. So again, that will do it for this one. If you did like the video, go ahead and give it a like. Be sure to subscribe as well. Definitely helps me know that you like content like this when you do that. And I'll see you in the next one.